What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tino, and guys, we're here today to talk about the first preview show of the week. We got 3 go-home shows. We got 3 pay-per-views. We got a lot of wrestling this week. We've watched the go-home show for Night of Champions, go-home show for Battleground. Tonight on AEW, it's the go-home show tonight of Double or Nothing. And tonight, this afternoon, we'll be going over what we watched last night at Battleground. Or at NXT, we going over everything that was announced at Battleground. So let me show you the matches that will be going down on Sunday night at NXT Battleground. And we got Gallus taking on the Creed brothers. We got Dragunov, Dragunov taking on Dijak in a last man standing match. We got Dragon Lee taking on Noam Doar in a 2 out of 3 falls Heritage Cup match. We got Wesley putting the North American title on the line against Joe Gacy and Tyler Bate. We got, for the women's championship, we got Lyra Valkyria taking on Tiffany Stratton. And in the main event of the evening, it's Bron Breaker taking on him, the A-champion, Mello himself, Carmelo Hayes. So, guys, we got all those matches. But today, we can't do it alone. And we're going to welcome back our co-host. He was nice enough and took more time out of his day to come and join us. He was here for Monday. He was here for Tuesday. He was here for Friday. He's here all the time now, guys. Let's welcome. And, guys, he did it literally a minute before we went live. Let's welcome. Kicking it with Leo. Now has 500 subscribers.
Yep.
Let's go. Good stuff, Leo. I got to tell you, bro, all the stuff you've been doing, man, lately, you've really been putting in a lot of work. So you definitely deserve it. And it ain't stopping. We're now on the road to 1K. So everybody keep going and hanging out with Leo. It's on here, on his channel, wherever it may be. But let's get to everything that's going to go down. So as we talked about on Steve's channel and everything, our excitement level for Night of Champions. What's your excitement level for Battleground?
I mean, with the card that we're looking at, I think it could be a solid, so I'm pretty sure, I think even though it's not the same like Black and Gold used to be, but they still can put up great matches, and it really makes it, better is like, it's not like a long card. They pretty much have like a card where it's just quick and straight to the point.
You definitely, and that's the thing. I feel like we were talking about yesterday on NXT, I feel like we're going to see this be a very, with NXT, this pay-per-view is probably going to end, and Double or Nothing is still going to have 2 hours left.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
I think it's going to be good. But before we get into and we start talking about all the matches, let's get to the chat. Let's see what everybody's saying. How's everybody doing here on this Wednesday afternoon? What's up, Joe? Thanks for coming and hanging out. Sorry you're not having a good day. Hopefully I can try to make it a little better. Eric says Cora should get the next shot at whoever wins.
Maybe. That's a possibility.
Just sub.
Who
Damn liar.
Control?
You weren't sub before, Leo. I'm gonna fight you.
I was.
We got Chumblebee in the background, guys. It's alive. Everything's live. That's okay. I appreciate. I tried, Joe. I definitely tried. Who's Tom?
What's up, Tino's time? Sorry.
Who's Tom? What's up, Chris?
Chum gang busting up it.
So I definitely do want to talk about that and who we do think it possibly is, because I was thinking about something last night and you mentioned it a few times, so I want to wait till we get to that match. But I do definitely want to talk about who we think attacked Roxanne Perez. But the first match we're going to actually talk about here on the show is going to be that tag team match. It is Gallus versus the Creed brothers for the NXT Championship. And out of all of the matches that are on this card, what's your level of excitement for this one? Is this one you're just eh?
It's kind of in the middle of the road for me, but I think it's definitely going to be a good match nonetheless. Because I know I've seen what both of these teams can do. I've seen what Gallus can do in NXT UK. They were dominant over there. I know what the Creed brothers can bring to the table. So it's going to be a good match. I think this is going to be one of those matches that people are going to overlook, but it might have the potential to steal the show overall. But I think it's going to be a 3-star match, if I'm going to be honest.
And who are you going to take to win?
I don't know if I was thinking maybe Gallus would drop the titles, but for some reason in my mind, I just don't know if Gallus are going to drop those titles yet. So I'm going to have to go with Gallus to retain.
And that's the thing I agree with you there is it's like I love the Creed brothers, and I kind of thought they'd be drafted and be called up in the draft.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's going to be the one thing is going to be very interesting to see because if Gallus is going to reign terror throughout the NXT tag team division, which is fine, is this, because I think this match is going to be great. They're going to go out there and put on an absolute clinic, and I think these four guys are absolutely great. Great. So it's going to be a good match and everything. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think Gallus is going to still and walk out as still your NXT champions. And I don't really know who they're going to face, but I've kind of really grown and to kind of like Joe Coffey a lot more than I actually thought I would. And Gallus, a lot of people may not like them and everything, but I do think that they're getting built to as a dominant tag team, and we really don't see that often. Especially there's been a lot of tag teams we've seen go from NXT main roster or whatever that have been either built poorly or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with you on Gallus and everything with that. But these guys are gonna go out there. We got Ivy Nile obviously by the side of the Creed brothers. Joe Coffey, maybe they'll do a little something another. And this match very well could be one to start the show. I don't have this in the order how I think they're gonna start the show.
Nah.
I have it more of the matches that I feel like are bigger and more have more of a So anyway, but the tag team match, I think it will be good and everything. I'll probably say 10 or 12 minutes, and that's the one thing I would say about these matches, that there's less matches, so they get a lot more time. So it's going to be a good tag team match, but I'm going to agree. I'm going to take Gallus to walk out, still your NXT champion. So the next match we're going to talk about, and we saw these guys battle all day yesterday, all night. They were going at it. I was loving every second of it. It's Dijak, Dominik Dijakovic, taking on Ilja Dragunov in a last man standing match. And I don't know about you, but I love last man standing matches. And this one is going to be an absolute banger, and I just cannot wait for this one. So what's your excitement level for the last man standing match between these two?
You can never go wrong with the last man standing match. And I think, with the feud that they've been building up with these two, I think it definitely deserves a last man standing because they've just been trying to beat up each other every chance that they can get. I think this would probably be one of these matches that probably be the highlight of the show overall because what Dragunov can bring to the table. We've seen his feuds with, Gunther for the NXT UK title. That was probably one of the biggest highlights of his career. And that put him on a different level. So I think we're going to probably see something along the lines of that tonight. And, it's last man standing, so you could use weapons and everything like that in your arsenal. So, but who I think is going to win, I think, Ilja Dragunov is going to probably have to win this match because I think they're trying to build him up to potentially move up to maybe the North American or NXT title scene at some point in the near future.
Man, imagine him versus Carmelo Hayes. I think that would be great. And that's the thing, I agree, everything you just said, I agree with you. But just to give a little bit of, a different perspective, and I'll be different with you on this one, I think Dijak might win just because I think, they've kind of, thank God, got rid of the T-bar stuff. They've got rid of this and that. And they're kind of building him up, and he's definitely not Dominik Dijakovic and everything he was doing with Keith Lee and everything. But I definitely like Dijak more than T-bar, and he gets I feel like people are kind of, scared. I feel like it's like a kid. I feel like you'd be kind of scared of him if you're watching NXT, where he's sitting there throwing Dragunov around like he's a ragdoll yesterday, and it just and he's a scary big fella, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I think Dijak very well might, and I think it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be a last man standing match that they're going to go all over the arena, and I think that this match very well might end on the side of the ramp through a table or something a power
or you can do the stage.
The power bomb through the stage, through the ramp, through the whatever it may be. I feel like that's how it's going to end. So I'm going to take Dijak on this one just to be a little different and see maybe
I like your reasoning. I like that reason.
But Dragunov, I think you're absolutely right. I think he's ready to go up to the North American NXT title. Him against Wesley, him against Carmelo, him against whoever it is, he's one that I thought definitely would be called up to the main roster too. But as we've talked about a lot, we could still, and there's been rumors, and we'll talk about it when we get to the main event, that they could be doing call-ups after SummerSlam because they apparently have to start they're going to have a little bit of cut. They're going to have a little cut thing that they do.
Yeah, that's what they're.
July.
Yeah, because they said in the lead up to July 1st, they're going to be doing cuts within the next 6 weeks or so. so they're probably gonna be doing cuts. But like you said, with Ilja, I wouldn't be surprised if this happened. Usually, like when people go at it in a feud, sometimes they'll do a 160 and then have them be a tag team. Like that, it's like a mutual respect type of thing. Like doing this whole feud, maybe they build up for mutual respect and they become a tag team, go after the NXT tag titles.
I mean, maybe. I just really want to see Dijak and Dragunov as singles competitors. But I mean, honestly, you could be right for them just to both be on there. And I think both of them as a team against like Gallus would be good, because that's going to be the question. We didn't even talk about it. Who's going to face Gallus next? Are they going to be Chase U? Like
Tony D'Angelo and Stacks.
The family, is we going to get like a new tag team? Are we going to get somebody what is Los Lodarios doing? Why don't you put them in NXT and have them do something?
I just thought about that.
I'm just like there's a couple teams like we were talking about with like people being called down. Like you talked about Ali, you talked about Ilja, you talked about other people. Like where are those people that like the free agents? Like we haven't seen any free agent on NXT besides Von Wagner, and so Von Wagner's just on NXT. So it's like, and it just like we talked about a little bit on Steve's channel yesterday with the draft and everything, but we could do a whole episode on that. So Dijak and Dragunov, it's going to be a great last man standing match. And I feel like this one could very well be one to maybe start off the show to get everybody's excitement level. So we're going to have to see. But as I said, too, I feel like it's very important where these people place the matches and where it goes, because it's all about where they place the matches and how the whole pay-per-view flows. So we were talking about championships. Let's talk about that championship. And if Dragunov wants to, he go after this one. And it's the North American Championship. But in this match at Battleground, we got Tyler Bate taking on Joe Gacy, taking on your North American champion, Wesley. And Wesley, I talked about it a lot, and I always say it. So happy for Wesley to finally get this opportunity, finally be able to have a little bit of a run after everything happened with Nash Carter and him kind of getting screwed and being left and everything like that. So happy for him that he's been able to do this, and he's been pretty much running through everybody. But now he's got a big competition between Tyler Bate and the leader of Schism, Joe Gacy. So this triple threat match, how you feel about it, Leo? What do you think?
I think it's going to be a good match. I think the main, when it comes to the triple threat, I don't think really people are going to be paying attention to Joe Gacy as much. I think the real story here is potentially Tyler Bate versus Wesley, and I think we'll see some type of thing where I think the road they're going to is possibly where we're going to see Tyler Bate turn heel. I think that's what they're starting to slowly tease. And I think we might get to see, the full-blown tease of that here tonight. I do think something I think this was going to happen. I think Wesley is going to pin Tyler Bate, and that's going to anger him because he lost the championship, lost the match, and he's going to turn on Wesley because, they're supposed to be friends, and this will lead to, like, them having a match at their next NXT big show or something like that. I think the next show that they're going to probably be doing is Great American Bash, I believe, in July. So they'll probably continue this feud over the next few weeks leading into that show.
During the Great American Bash in like July just feels right.
It's on July 4th. So
is it really?
Yes, it's falling on July 4th.
Well, you know how I'm spending my 4th of July. I know.
Me too.
Chum. Let's go. But I mean, so who are you taking in this match? Who you got?
I got Wesley, because Wesley just been on the run of his career. Like nobody really saw him being in this position after him first coming in and then losing his partner and now being champion, and pretty much been I would consider him as like one of the best NXT North American champs that we've had so far in that lineage.
Yeah. And I think that's good. Like that's like the thing, like we were talking about, like Solo Sikoa being like a former North American champion. Like the North American champion has kind of become like that grit title that everybody kind of wants to win. And that like back in the day, it was like the IC title and everything like that. So it's very interesting to see how it's going to play out. But I think this match is going to be great. I love all three, and people could say what they want about Schism and everything, but I think Joe Gacy is good, and we make fun of him. At least I make fun of him, say he's a Bray Wyatt, Kevin Owens child, like manifesto or whatever. But I mean, I think this match is going to be absolutely great. And you're right, though. In the end, I'm going to say that there's no way that Wesley loses, and Wesley's going to walk out as still your North American champion.
Yeah.
And again, you're right on that. If they're going to do something, I think that they very well could have Tyler Bate turn heel, because we were talking about it too. Having something big happen, I feel like on all of these pay-per-views are very important. And it's not even like it's just about like you need to make sure that you have and that you I don't know. I just feel like they need to be some that after Sunday, we're still talking about it going into Tuesday. Just like for Saturday. Hopefully there's something that we're talking. And as we were talking about it with Steve and the other Steve, both Steves, there needs to be something that like we're going into Monday and we're looking forward to. So should be very interesting. But yeah, I'm going to take Wesley to win and still be your North American champion. So now let's get into the next match. We only got 3 matches. As Leo said, it's not going to be too long of a show here. We'll be back here on Tino's Time for Dynamite tonight. So make sure you guys come and hang out. But the next match we got here, guys, it's for the Heritage Cup. It is Dragon Lee taking on Noam Dar. And this is actually the rules. I want to make sure I let everybody know the rules. So I'm going to be looking at my phone because I got to make sure that we get the rules right. And I want to make sure that I know what's up. So we got a match. All matches consist of 6 3-minute rounds with 20-second breaks between each round. We have all matches are 2 out of 3 falls. Falls can be won by pinfall, submission, or countout. Once a fall occurs, the round ends. The match ends once the wrestler has 2-1 falls, so 2 out of 3 falls. In the event of a disqualification or knockout, the match instantly ends without the need of a second fall. If all six rounds are completed, whoever is ahead on falls wins the match. So I hope everybody got all that information because that was kind of a lot for me to read. It's the British round rules if you guys want to look it up, if I talk too fast. But Leo, what are you feeling about this? And this, I didn't realize that this match kind of had these rules. So I feel like even like it's going to be very interesting. What's your excitement level for this one?
I think I'm very excited because I know what Dragon League brings to the table. I think Noam Dar is one of these type of people. He can go out there and actually put up on a good match, but people really don't really pay attention to that. And I've seen some of the matches that they put on for like the Heritage Cup, and they are very brutal and they're very hard hitting. And I definitely think this is where we're really going to get to see what Noam Dar is really fully capable of in this match here. But I just think he's held that cups for like the last 500 days. That's pretty much what's been going on. He's been holding that since the last 500 days. And I think we might get to see a new Heritage Cup winner. I think Dragon Lee is going to win.
Oh, you're taking Dragon Lee to win.
Yeah.
I like it because I agree with you. I love Dragon Lee. I think that would be absolutely fantastic to see Dragon Lee. I love that they're pushing Dragon Lee. I love the fact that they're doing everything. And I've really grown to like Noam Dar. I don't know about Noam Dar has been they've done the video packages and everything, and they're absolutely great to see and everything. So it's going to be absolutely great. This match is going to be so much fun to watch, and it should be interesting to see if it goes to 2 out of 3 falls or how they have this match end. Because I feel like a lot of people may not be very though they're going to be confused at first. So people might need to let everybody know what the rules are for this match.
Because, they usually do.
I know. I'm just saying, make sure everybody goes and looks up at it.
Can Tumblebee say something?
What do you got to say about the British rules match?
I think in the wrestling community, period, they're finally starting to kind of get their shit together, and they're finally starting to do decent marketing.
This guy,
for once.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? What do I mean by that? Have they not been doing shit marketing? They're starting to finally figure out what people.
Hold on, Tino. I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Are good and what people make better for content and for people to come and want to watch them, and what people are good, what people stick out to certain people, what people have accomplished. You know what I'm saying? And especially even the new people, you bring them in, you get them in with somebody else that's accomplished other stuff. They're starting to put good people up against other good people instead of doing some bullshit match with somebody that that's just going to lose anyways,
Yeah, I feel you. Well, that's Chumblebee's opinion, and I think that's a very good opinion on that. So everybody, let me know what you guys think about what Chumblebee had to say about that. But I am going to take Dragon Lee to win the Heritage Cup match. I'm going to say the Dragon Lee walks out. He wins it. Noam Dar moves on. He stays in NXT, and we see where it goes on from there. But these two, it's going to be so much fun. And I kind of do hope that these matches get to, and they go, I hope it goes like the whole way. So we're going to have to see. But before we get to the next thing, because we're going to take a break for a second about talking the matches, I want to talk about something that I mentioned yesterday on the NXT live stream that I want to talk about here for a little bit. But let's get to the chat real quick. Let's see what else is going on. I need to catch up because I did that. Let's get back. Oh, here we go. We got, there you go. Eric says it's Dana Brooke.
Yes, Eric, you get it. You get it, Eric.
You get it.
Eric, you understand.
No, Southside boys, I appreciate you. Have fun in the Southside boy. Deech is in Cancun right now, man. I want to be where Deech is at. Chris thinks it's Mandy.
Possibility. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Ooh, Joe, you got a big announcement. What kind of an announcement, bro? Chris is being bold. He's saying that the Creed brothers win. I like it.
I like that.
Chris, that's true. She wants to talk to you. There is a told she's coming back. What? How do you expect that? You're a funny guy. What's up, Ava? We got Wes Lee winning. What's up? 4 roots, 1 tree, I guess. 4 roots, 1 tree. Dragon Lee wins. So
Yep.
You guys keep commenting. Keep letting me know what you guys are feeling. We got 9 people in the house. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Hit that like button. Join, become a member. Leave a super chat if you guys have not yet. Support the channel. I do appreciate all you guys. But before we get to the last 2 matches and the 2 co-main events pretty much, I want to talk about this that we were talking about yesterday a little bit, and it is about WWE possibly considering a adult theme for a 3rd hour of Raw each week. So I think if they're going to do this, I think that's if they want to do it on the 3rd hour and that's what they want to do, I think that would be a very good idea because I feel like a lot of people, like we watch Raw on Mondays and me and you are sitting here the hour and a half, 2 hours in and we're like, oh crap, we got a whole nother hour. And I feel like if you give the people that last hour of a little edgier stuff and a little whatever, maybe you have a little like theme where it kind of like transforms like from the Raw that they have, and then like maybe they make it a little darker and it has like the NXT vibes or whatever. But I feel like giving the people like something like that, what we used to have in the Attitude Era or in the Ruthless Aggression Era, will have the people still be up and still be ready and be somewhat adrenaline ridden at 9, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, wherever you may be. And for the people that I don't know how they do it in the UK that stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning, it just like it's one of those things that it's like we're falling asleep. So it should be very interesting to see. But I wanted to get your opinion on it, but that's my opinion. So what do you think about them possibly making the 3rd hour Raw adult version?
I think the way I literally, did a video about it, talking about SmackDown possibility going to the 3rd hour. And here's my thing with Raw. I think it's a good show, but I think when it gets to the 3rd hour, it feels like a drag. It feels like they're not really putting in a lot of time into wrestling. It feels like the 3rd hour of Raw is just pretty much there. They're not. I feel like the only thing that 3rd hour pretty much serves as is pretty much for them to get money and revenue from their sponsors. That's pretty much what the 3rd hour I look at. The 3rd hour, really, you don't really see as much wrestling. It's more like segment-based and, things that pretty much really shouldn't be on the show. And I think when you compare it to, like, something like SmackDown, it feels like for 2 hours, it's digestible as a wrestling fan. It's digestible. Because we can sit up and watch 2 hours of SmackDown every week, no problem. Because that's pretty much what we're used to. Yeah. And it's pretty much one of these things where you look at SmackDown, they pretty much get straight to the point. Like, they're trying to get you in, and they're going to get you out. But Raw, on the other hand, the first 2 hours, it's good. But the 3rd hour is just not really. And like when you said, the 3rd hour, I think them using the edgier thing will probably help bring more back fans for a little bit. And not even that, but if you're doing a 3rd hour, that not only can bring fans, but it will give people a reason to actually consider watching 3rd hour or bringing people back or even give them a reason to watch. So,
I mean, Yeah, and I agree with everything you just said. It should be very interesting to see. But Nick Khan did mention in that interview that he did have and everything. So just something to throw out there, and we'll see where it goes. But obviously, nothing is official until everything happens. So it's a pretty much wait and see. But you want to know what's not wait and see? The co-main events of Battleground, because the first one we're going to talk about, it is for the vacated NXT Women's Championship, and in the finals we got Lyra Valkyria after defeating the girl that we thought all would win and doing the impossible. She defeats Cora Jade last night on NXT, and she goes to the final. And Tiffany Stratton, it's a Tiffany epiphany. She beats Roxanne Perez and she moves on to the finals. So it's Lyra, it's Tiffany Stratton for the NXT Women's Championship. So, Leo, how you feeling about this match? Are you excited? What are you thinking?
I'm excited, but at the same time, I was a little shocked because I didn't think Cora would have lost in this match. But I think this definitely proves what we were saying. It's like I feel like Lyra is somebody that I feel like NXT wants to potentially build and going into the near future. I think that's what they're showing here. I think I'm not saying that Cora Jade is not the future, but I feel like at the same time that they're pushing and building up Lyra Valkyrie. But at the same time, I don't think she's gonna win here. I think Tiffany Stratton is gonna win because think about it. She beat Roxanne Perez last night clean. She beat a former NXT Women's Champion, someone who's been on the main roster, who's pretty much done just about everything that there is, been all over from Ring of Honor to reality of wrestling. She's done different things at this point of her career. So she's beating somebody who's been established and accomplished. So I definitely think Tiffany Stratton is going to pick up that win and become the new NXT Women's Champion.
I like it. And I agree with you too on that, though. I think it's phenomenal that they're built. That's what I said it last night. That's what NXT is for, to build up these new superstars, to do this and that. And it's funny because everybody cries and complains when they do this, but then they cry and complain when Cora Jade's not getting pushed. But remember, NXT is there for people to get. It's pretty much the minor leagues of wrestling, just like minor leagues for baseball. Minor league, It's the AAA of WWE. So all of these people are pretty much just building to get up to Raw or SmackDown. And we talked a little bit about it yesterday too. And I feel like so far, like a lot of the NXT superstars have been getting used. It's only been 2 weeks, obviously, but we've seen Zoe in a few matches. We saw Grayson Waller do the Grayson Waller effect. We've seen even Indus Shear's been on TV. Veer's coming to Raw again. We've seen, it's like we haven't seen Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. We've seen Alba Fire, Isla Dawn. So it should be very interesting. And I like that. But it's time for Tiffany Stratton to win. And it's time for her to become the new women. And time for her to run the division and be the woman to hold that title. Honestly, I wouldn't mind her holding it until like Stand and Deliver next year. Like if that, like have her be pushed and have her feud with Roxanne, have her feud with Cora, have her feud with, if hopefully Soul could come back. I would love to imagine like Soul and Tiffany at like Stand and Deliver next year. Like who you never, like something like that.
She'll have a lengthy reign.
So it's like there's so many people that it should be interesting. But yeah, I'm happy for Lyra, and if she wins, there's nothing against Lyra. I'd be happy for Lyra too, but I think it's time for Tiffany to win. So yeah. Tiffany Stratton winning and walking out as your new NXT champion. And before we get to the main event, the main event of this guy wants to say goodbye. What kind of outro do you want, my guy?
No type of outro, my guy. I'm just gonna say, everybody subscribe to both these beautiful gentlemen.
What about you? You got to subscribe.
Hey, you guys don't got to subscribe to Chumblebee, but if you feel like it, you can, bro. I ain't worried about it. I'm about to make a comeback soon. It's okay.
All right. Well, shut the garage. Thank you, guys.
Love you guys. Bye, Leo. Bye, team.
Later.
See you later. Check out my grandma. Make sure she's alive. Well,
but as far as the NXT women's title goes, I could see her maybe holding it to like to the end of the year, at least to like New Year's Evil or Vengeance Day or something like that.
Yeah. And I kind of like that we're kind of getting to the point too where it's like we're kind of like realizing what the schedule is for NXT. Like Stand and Deliver is their WrestleMania. They have Vengeance Day. They have In Your House, Great American Bash, Battleground. So It should be interesting.
And we can't even forget. I mean, we had the possibility of like that hooded figure lurking around. She's been attacking mostly like the baby faces in NXT. So whoever it is definitely a heel.
So that was the next thing I want to talk about before we do talk about the main event. Also, who do you think that is? Because you said her name yesterday.
I mean, there's three people.
Huh?
There's three people. There's three people that I'm literally thinking of that, I feel like could make sense. One of them, it does. I mean, I don't think people would say makes sense, but it's just me just throwing a name out there because people kind of mentioned it. One of them, Mandy Rose. She's pretty much been on everybody's list. I mean, she already said that she will actually come back if the opportunity is there, and she would love to come back. So I think their opportunity is there. The second one, a lot of people have been talking about, is a possibility of a returning Eva Marie. I know people don't really want that, but she did tease a couple months ago that she wanted to come back with like a darker character. So maybe that's a possibility there. And a third one, I feel like, me personally, I know people probably won't agree, but Eric already said it. I think Dana Brooke could be that third person that could be there. I mean, she's been in NXT before, and I think this will be something refreshing for her in her career to do something that she hasn't really got to sink. And this could be something she could really sink her teeth into, and the fans can finally get behind her of something that she does. So, I mean, it's a possibility. Maybe it's somebody from a different company that we don't know.
Well, that, or you mentioned her name yesterday, and you said that she went down to NXT with Mustafa Ali. What if it's Ilja? I watched it a few times, and I don't know why, but like the way, like I don't know, it kind of looks like Ilja, and I follow Ilja on all the social medias and everything. I was like looking at a few of her pictures and everything. I was like I don't know. It could very well be, because if they and that's something that could be very interesting to kind of build her up to her not being Ilja 314 or whatever the hell that was, 613 or whatever the hell she had. And it's like, so it would be very interesting. So I agree with you on those three names, but I do want to throw Ilja out there too. But
I thought about it. I forgot about her, but I think she's definitely got to be in that list because she did get put back down to NXT, I believe. So, hey.
If it is anybody from a different company, who do you, like a bold prediction, who do you think it could be?
From a different company?
Yeah, like somebody just not in WWE right now.
I don't even really know all the free agents right now, to be honest. So it's going to be very hard to predict right now.
It could be somebody like a Billie Kay or somebody like
or that. Or Peyton Royce.
Is she? Oh yeah, she did just give. Yeah, true, possibly.
I think it could be one of them
because what if they do that? What if they bring them both back and it's like them swapping every week, and then all of a sudden we see two hoodies and they reveal themselves? That would be interesting. I think that would get a lot of people talking about the Iconics to bring them back in that some sort of way, because they always were that way where they kind of wanted, I don't know. So you guys let us know. What do you guys think in the chat? But before we finish and we get back to the chat and then we get ready to come back here for AEW tonight and everything, let's talk about the main event of NXT Battleground. And it is for the NXT Championship. It is Bron Breakker, the former NXT champion, the man that ran the place for all of NXT 2.0, all of NXT, until him, the A champion, Carmelo Hayes, showed up, did his thing, ran through the NXT North American division, defeated everybody in his sight, and he went on to defeat Bron Breakker and become the new NXT champion. So it's Melo, it's Bron. Who's walking out at NXT Battleground? Leo, what's your excitement level for this match, the main event of this stuff?
I think if we've seen their match before, we've seen them go at it at Stand and Deliver, and that was a good match. And we finally got to see that crowning moment of Carmelo Hayes finally reaching the top of the mountain in NXT, becoming the NXT champion. And I just don't think – I knew they were going to have him turn heel. I knew it was going to happen. But I just don't think they would have him just turn heel and he's going to win the championship back. I don't think that's going to happen. I have Carmelo Hayes retaining the NXT championship. I believe at some point in the near future, you mentioned it earlier, that they could be doing like a bringing people up, post SummerSlam. And I definitely think he's going to be one of those guys that's going to go up after SummerSlam. Going up to the main roster, whether if it's Raw or SmackDown, we will see.
Man, I honestly, I think it would be Raw. Because I feel like he's gonna they're gonna want to bring him, and I'm sure we'll get a few Rick Steiner like comments and blah 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 because they always do, and that's the
They
only
always
way
do that.
that's the only way people are gonna be like, oh, okay, I kind of know who he is. So I mean, I'm going to agree with you. I think it's Melo's time. I don't see Melo like we talked about, like with Tiffany Stratton winning possibly, or if she wins and goes on to stand and deliver. I don't see Melo losing for a while. Like I feel like Melo is going to be like an MJF, where he's going to keep that title for a long time, and we might not see him lose until he's called up in next year's draft, or however they do it next year, if they have a draft or if they just feel like
he might have a longer reign. He might have a longer reign than Braun Breaker did, because I think Braun Breaker held that title for over a year.
Yeah. So again, he might not get called up, and he just continues to run NXT. I mean, shoot, we saw Johnny Gargano not get called up. He stayed in NXT for as long as he possibly could.
Yeah, because
Sean loves Carmelo. So Sean ain't letting his prized pupil go nowhere unless he knows he's getting used correctly. He ain't getting used bad, and bro. And I think if Melo's going to be called up, like when he does, I would love to see him in like an IC title, US title, go after a world title. Like imagine him confronting Seth Rollins as the world champion, bro. Imagine if it was like something like after WrestleMania where he comes out with the NXT title, where like Kevin Owens did with Cena or something like that, and and obviously it would mean he might be losing it, but man, just something like that would be so sick.
But not even that. But like we talked about on stream yesterday, imagine if, because I see him as being the future of the WWE altogether, not just just being a future mid-card champion. I think he has the potential to go all the way.
Oh man!
Imagine a main eventing. I can see a main event at WrestleMania. Imagine him facing Montez Ford for one of the world titles, or even Ricochet, or having all three of them in a triple threat. That match will probably be instantly match of the year.
Facts. Match of the year. That'd be bro. That might be match of the century between those.
Honestly,
because I mean, you gotta like, and that's why I said like Seth versus Carmelo too, because that would be Triple H's guy against Sean's guy in a way. So that would be like a whole nother different story that you could bring into it. Where
you could be pretty much revisiting the Triple H Sean rivalry, but like with the next generation of them.
And that's the type of rivalries that are really good. So. Again, it should be very interesting, and we're getting way ahead of ourselves. I'm just sitting here fantasy booking as everybody else likes to say. But I mean, hey, let's dream, because maybe we'll talk it into existence. I don't know if anybody watches the Southside Boys, but I've been doing pretty good on my bold predictions and my guarantees. So I kind of know some things. But yeah, I agree. Melo's walking out, NXT champion, still champion next Tuesday night on NXT, and then we'll be on the road to the Great American Bash. 4th of July. Can't even believe it's June. Where the hell did May go? May just happened. My birthday was last week, I thought. It's almost been.
Because May is almost over.
It is.
May is almost
literally
over.
Next, I think a week from today, or next Thursday is the 1st. So a week from today is the end of May. So can't believe that.
And then we're on the road to Money in the Bank. Like literally.
SummerSlam. Bro, we'll be at the Royal Rumble before you know it. And then you'll be in Philly.
Yeah, for WrestleMania 40.
Yep. So, well, those are all the matches that are going to be going down at Battleground. Anything else you got about NXT Battleground before we
that I know of? No, that I know of is. I think still, like I said, it's gonna be a good show. I think we could be to see that reveal of whoever the mask or hooded figure is. I think we might get to see that. I think that's gonna be a story. Nah.
He said nah.
I said whoever is under the hooded figure. I think that's probably be a cool story. I think people will be looking forward to see what happens with that during the show.
He said, nah. None of that.
Nah.
But that's what we got for NXT Battleground. We will be live here. I don't know if Leo will. We'll try to get him here. Leo, you're going to maybe. We'll get him here.
I'll see.
We'll sneak him in somehow. But we'll be here live on Sunday for Battleground. We'll be live here for Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing tomorrow, guys. Double or Nothing preview show a little bit earlier, an hour earlier. Double or Nothing, 3:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come and hang out with Tino and Leo as we go over all the matches that will be going down at Double or Nothing. And then Friday, we'll be doing Night of Champions. We'll be having a triple header tomorrow. Don't forget, we got that. We got the Double or Nothing show. We got the Southside Boys episode number 10. And your boy Tino is all alone this week. So or it might be episode number 11 at this point. I lost track. But we'll be live for the Southside Boys, and your boy Tino had to call in some reinforcements because the two guys are on vacation, so they left me alone. But we'll be okay. I got some good guests. So we got that. And then tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, we'll be live for not NXT, Night of Champions 2015, as we're going to go back. We're going to relive NXT. I keep seeing NXT above me. I keep seeing the NXT above me, so I keep saying NXT. The Night of Champions, where Seth Rollins did the unthinkable. He defeated Sting and John Cena in one night. So,
no, he did.
Live for all that. But we're not done yet here today, guys. It's a doubleheader, and we're going to be live tonight for AEW Dynamite. It's the last show before Double or Nothing. So we're going to come back here in 2 short hours and watch AEW Dynamite. But before we go on this live stream, let's go over the card real quick. We're going to hear from Ricky Starks. We're also going to hear from FTR. We're going to hear from the Four Pillars. We're also going to hear from Tony Khan, and he's going to announce who will be and what will be the first location for AEW Collision. We got a contract signing between Chris Jericho and Adam Cole, baby. We got Taya Valkyria taking on Lady Frost. We got House of Black taking on Blake Christian and ATR Fox and Malik. The great Malik, whatever.
He was Grand Malik in WWE.
That's okay. That's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, that guy looks familiar. They are taking on. They're in an AEW World Trios Championship match in an open house match. So that should be very good. And I love the House of Black. We also got Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed. He don't care who he faces. He's putting the title on the line in a battle royal. He's putting the title on the line tonight against Kyle Fletcher. So make sure you come and hang out. And then we got the Lucha Bros taking on Claudio and Wheeler Yuta representing the BCC for the AEW World Tag Team Championships.
It's the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles, I believe.
Oh, is it the
Ring of Honor?
You're right. It is the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. My bad. Thank God we got Leo here, guys, because I would be off. I can't see that. That's right. It does say okay. I didn't want to look too close. But thank you, Leo, for that.
No problem.
But that's what we got going down here tonight on Dynamite, guys. So I want to say thank you guys all so much for coming here, hanging out with your boy Tino for 40 minutes as we talked about NXT Battleground. But before we go, Leo, let everybody know where they can go and find you as you now are on the road to 1K.
Yeah, my channel is Kicking It with Leo. I do wrestling content, horror content, gaming content, pretty much every day of the week. We're on a road to 1K. We're at 500 subscribers right now. We just hit that right before getting on stream. So I appreciate everybody who's been subscribing to my channel. And everybody who hasn't, you still have time to make sure your subscription matters. So make sure you subscribe because I'm trying to get to 1K by the end of the year.
That's what we got to do, man. We got to get it. So let's get to the chat real quick. We got some more chats before we go. He says, do you think I do think Cora and Roxanne will be part of the next call-ups?
Yeah.
Raw I think you're talking about SmackDown being moved to Thursday nights. Raw will never
do that.
He says, I don't care about this match.
It pains me to say this.
Funny. It pains me to say this, but I'm the biggest HBK guy ever.
But he's the worst booker of the year. I think he's the work of the year.
Why is he the worst booker of the year? That's interesting. That's the reason why they lost. I didn't think maybe they do a whole nother round of call-ups during SummerSlam. Maybe it's Bron, it's Cora, it's Roxanne, maybe Tyler. Maybe
we mentioned in the stream, I think a couple last night we talked about the possibility of Liv Morgan coming back and her coming back with her own faction and Cora Jade being part of that faction. That'd be a cool moment for her.
That would be I think they could all get along very well too, especially if you turn Roxanne heel. I think it would be very interesting to see Roxanne heel.
Yeah.
Chris is taking Lyra. He don't care, but he's taking Lyra. Cora is the only big-time female who hasn't had a one-on-one chance at the championship. You're gonna get it. It could be Tatum. It could be Tatum Paxley. You're right on that, but I feel like we've seen Tatum. So I feel like if that's the case, honestly, that would be such a WWE thing to do for them just to make it somebody that's so obvious, just like the tag team partner on Raw with Riddle. We're like, come on.
Yeah. I thought they
Dana
were gonna do
Brooke's a
Mustafa.
face right now.
Dana Brooke is a face, but she can always play the heel role though. We've seen it. But not that dark. It's time for the main event of the evening.
It's standing 5-2, the champion from Boston, Massachusetts. It's him, Carmelo Hayes. I love Julia Hart. Chris, everybody loves Julia Hart. Well,
Hey.
guys, that's all we got in the chat. I'm going to go now. I'm going to go and eat some dinner. Leo needs to eat some dinner, and Leo's got to go get some rest. Leo's been on here. We're going to get Leo needs a break, bro. So, thank you again, Leo. I appreciate it. You'll be back here tomorrow for the Double or Nothing preview show, 3 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So, again, man, thank you so much, and I will talk to you, and have a good rest of your night.
You too.
Well, guys, that was Leo. Make sure to go follow him. He's doing great. He's putting in some work. Go make sure you subscribe. Let's get him to 1K. Let's get him part of the 1K crew. So, guys, thank you all so much. Coming here, hanging out with your boy Tino on this Wednesday afternoon. Like I said, we'll be live here tonight for Dynamite. But before you go, remember to go follow all the social medias on at Tino's Time on SoundCloud and Spotify. Tino's Time Wrestling on Instagram and Facebook. Tino's Time 1996 on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Tino's Gaming 2023 on Twitch. The Southside Boys 23 on Twitter. Make sure to go follow the Southside Boys 23. We'll be live for the Southside Boys episode number, I think it's episode number 11, actually. I think it is. Oh, no, it is episode number 10. Episode number 10. Make sure to come and hang out for episode number 10 tomorrow, as I brought in a little reinforcements to replace the Southside Boys this week. But Deech and J-Man hopefully will be back next week. So hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe as we're on the road to 2K, everybody. And finally, turn that notification button on so you know when we go live next. Make sure to go check out the memberships, as I said earlier. You don't have to, but I do appreciate all the support. Go check out the Super Chats. Become a member. Join the channel. We're going to be doing membership-only live streams, preview shows, everything in and or before. Everything, some members only, some regular, and everything. So make sure you guys check that out. But that's all I got here for you for right now. We'll be back here in 2 short hours. So go enjoy the rest of your Wednesday afternoon. Go get some dinner and come back here in 2 short hours on Tino's Time. And let's watch some AEW Dynamite, because you know what that means. It's Wednesday night and it's time. You guys know. Sizzle me, daddy. But we'll see what the Acclaim got. So, guys, go get some dinner, and I'll see you guys back here in 2 hours for AEW Dynamite.